Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of WizNews After Hours. My name is Gabe.
And I'm your co-host, Sunnya.
Yeah, and third episode's the charm. I hope. I don't know. We've been doing a pretty great job so far, at least in my opinion.
Pretty great. I think it's just honestly fantastic. So
Yeah, we're just that entertain. Okay, whatever. Anyways, we wanted to change this episode up a little bit, because we know that they're a little bit long. We cover a lot of things. So, instead of having individual interviews, we thought let's just include everyone in the entire conversation. So, let's give a warm welcome to Maddie and Autumn.
Hello, I'm Maddie. I'm a High Inquisitor and Unspeakable and a Daily Diviner League producer.
Hello, I'm Autumn, and I am Chief Unspeakable.
Yes, welcome.
yes, nice to have you here with us today.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm slightly dying, because the server keeps crashing, but it's fine.
Rebellious things, you know?
Yeah, it really
Love
keeps-
that.
I'm not dying. I'm just tired. But how are you guys?
Pretty good. I mean, on that rebellious grind, just getting things done.
I know,
Only a couple
we're
days left, so
a couple days away. By the time you guys are seeing this, we're probably like 3 or 4 days away. Exciting.
Oh my gosh, what?
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we did want to give you guys a little bit of a break from, the constant rebellious talk. I know it's very exciting, but we wanted to take this episode to recognize another part of, the Potterworld gameplay experience, and that's events.
I mean, events are such a big thing on Potterworld. They've been here for years, and it's just kind of what we're all used to and what we all just are waiting for each month. We're like, oh, what event's going to happen? So I think it's really important that we have these conversations about events. And in June, we've had quite a couple. We've had roleplay, we've had Pride, we've had a lot of different things. So we can talk about that. So
Yes. So a lot of our focus has obviously been on implementing those new gameplay features that we're very excited about. But we've still been doing some events. We've been putting out the feedback forums to see what you guys like. What are your guys' favorite parts about the events that we have right now?
Right now, I think that the events are something fun to do. It's a little extra, fun thing to do for us. They're not as big right now because we're focused on Rebellious, but it's still nice to have, and they're just cute little things.
Yeah, like Autumn was saying, I really like the content that comes out, even if it's just like a single quest. It's still fun to just have something else to do around the server.
I mean, yeah, like definitely. I think it's something we always try to do something different for all the events we have, and we don't want to have every event be exactly the same. With a lot of the more recent events, we've done that, especially with Pride. It was completely different than what we did in 2019, and I think it was just fantastic. So
For sure. And I know you guys have each had a hand in putting on events at some point in your Potterworld career. What's your favorite part about doing that?
My favorite part about doing events is probably just working with different ideas and different stories. It's completely different from what we'll see with World Quest or any dungeon stuff in the future. And then also we use the our tech in different ways, so the type of content you're seeing is different than what we'll be seeing on the world.
I also enjoy coming up with the ideas and then being able to see final results a little bit sooner than with Rebellious, since the stuff that we're doing now for Rebellious at least won't be seen until after July 4th, but for the events, they are coming out a little bit earlier, so that's a lot of fun.
I think ultimately, at the end of the day, for people who work on events, one of the most satisfying things is seeing it working and seeing people playing the event. It's such a nice feeling just in general, seeing people enjoying the things you've worked on and the things you've put time into. And while I don't work on events now, I do see what does go on, what the Unspeakables do, and had to help with that in the past. And it's just honestly my favorite thing that I've personally seen.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. even if an event is pretty small, there's still a lot that goes into it because the tech is quite tedious. So it is nice to see the results come out.
For sure. I really enjoy going to events too because you get to see another side of gameplay. You get to kind of be celebrating seasonal things. You know, I love the winter waltz. I love the Halloween events because they're separate from what we usually see in the world, but we also, we get a different storyline, and I think that's really cool.
Well, okay, so we've talked about our favorite things with events and like what goes into it and all that, and I think it's important for us to like now take some time to talk about what's happened in the past month. And so starting off June, we had the Pride Festival. And so let's just take some time like talking about that, like what went into it. What can you tell us about that?
I mean, I wasn't too involved with creating the content for this event. I kind of just managed the team. Um, but as you saw, we had the quest and then all of the fun rewards and the new pride flag model. But Maddie, you can talk more about like the content that we saw.
Yeah. So we wanted this year to definitely do something more than just a stall. Like last year was sort of like since last was sort of integrated with the anniversary event. We wanted something a little bit more separated from it. So we came up with the story or like the small quest line with Dean and Morgan and Taylor. And we also have the little Transfiguration courtyard decorations.
I know that so yeah, the quest was honestly so fun. I love the diversity and the inclusivity of all of it. It was just so nice, and I know a lot of people and players really appreciated it. Something I do want to ask you guys about is the gameplay that was in that quest. So we saw like making the bouquet and getting those plants for the bouquet. I know that that's some of the stuff we will be seeing with Rebellious, but can you tell us more about that?
In the most recent events, you probably have seen a lot of new mobs, some new tech. So we have our little container sequences, as we call them, with the potion brewing, and then harvesting plants. That is a big part of Rebellious with professions. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of introduce that with events as well and kind of integrate some of the things you will be seeing.
And like I said last time with the Spring Festival, I already know I'm going to be pretty terrible at it. But it was really fun seeing that new system implemented, kind of giving some sneak peeks of what's to come.
For sure. Something else that happened in June, which I know a lot of people also really enjoyed and were really appreciative of, was the graduation. And I know Autumn and I, we are part of the class of 2020. So
Yes.
How did you feel about that?
I mean, it was really nice. The build was cute. I really liked the items. One of the Unspeakables worked on it, so it was really good.
Yeah, it was really cute, and I think it was definitely something needed. So I'm glad you got to celebrate.
For sure. And I love how we can just come together as a community on Potterworld. Like, we're there for each other. Even small things like graduation. Well, graduations are pretty big, but the fact that we get to celebrate it all as a community, it was kind of touching in a way.
Honestly, yeah. And for for Autumn and I and other people who are in the class of 2020, like our graduations weren't the way we envisioned them to be, but it was still very memorable in its own way. And it's nice knowing that Potterworld is kind of like a second home. And I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I can kind of say that I've graduated from Hogwarts. Hogsworth.
Another cool aspect of events that not a lot of people talk about but are still pretty cool are competitions and giveaways. We sometimes have them on social media. I think last month we had the 6th anniversary skin and writing competition, and that was really cool because we got to involve not just the players but some of the media members. Why don't you talk about that?
Oh my gosh, media, wow, the best department. So basically, honestly, it was really fun. I I worked more with the skin arithmencers and setting up the voting and all that for the skins, which was really cool. Just seeing all the submissions and honestly, just seeing people's creativity when it comes to skins. I think it's so cool. But I know Maddie worked more with the daily diviner side of it with the writing competition. But yeah, so
I agree. Like, definitely seeing the creativity is a lot of fun, and then you get to see into the minds of a lot of players when they're writing. Um, and for this particular writing competition, since it was focused on Potterworld stories, it was really sweet reading back like the actual memories and how like reminiscent they are of what the old Potterworld was, and like except like people being excited for new changes coming up with Rebellious. So overall, it was a lot of fun to read.
well, since Rebellious is just a short bit away, I think it's time for us to just talk about the future of events. Now, this is kind of where Autumn's going to have to talk the most about this, but is there anything specific you guys are looking to have in future events? Anything specific that you can tell us? And yeah.
So future events. We are planning on having much bigger events than we have had in the past. More along the lines of the Winter Waltz event, maybe even bigger. Yeah, we want to plan on having a lot of content. We're also looking forward to introducing something interesting that you guys might enjoy. I'm not going to say anything more about it, but it'll help make the events much more fun and exciting for the players.
Ooh, mysterious.
Exciting.
Yes. So, this is a question for everyone. What do you guys are hoping to look forward to in the new events? Do you want more quests, more storylines, collectibles?
So, for events in the future, we will be wanting to see more storylines because the story does affect the gameplay that we're seeing. So, yeah, just more stories, more content, much more content. Yeah, not really more to say than that, just larger scale events in the future.
I'm definitely excited for more content and like storylines to follow along. I think back to like February, I think 2017, where it was like the first time they did Alice in Wonderland, and then they had like the whole like the build up to the final like quest, and that
Oh
was
my
a lot of
gosh,
fun.
yeah.
Also excited for seeing like the different collectibles that, like you mentioned earlier. Lately, I haven't really been getting the collectibles from the events, so I really missed out on all like the plushies, which are so cute, and I'm so sad that I don't have.
Okay, well, for me, I'm going to take it from a different perspective. I am honestly, with events, I'm excited for the media things that, well, media gets to do with
Damn
them.
you! I hate you. That was mine.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, no one's gonna take this. Fine, keep going.
Okay, well, fine, I'll restart.
No, just no. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
so interested.
If we are having more big scale events, things with more content and builds and all that, I think there needs to be more hyping them up. And I know media can do a lot with that. I mean, through the social media platforms, through the YouTube, and just in general. And consider me a media nerd, but yeah.
Yeah, honestly, same. Like making those trailers for events. I remember doing the spring festival one. I had to remember the name. I remember doing the spring festival one, and really loving working with the performers, exploring the build, and seeing how much we could hype the event up. Really cool. Another thing is like the builds. The builds are awesome. I love seeing, the decorated courtyards. Sometimes there's an entirely new build, which is always fun.
Bro, the builds are crazy. I mean, the build team works so hard, and I'm sure that they will make so many cool builds for events and just
Oh, for
in
sure.
general.
Anyways, like always, we're gonna close out this episode with a name that staff member. So, do you know who this is? Any guesses? We'll reveal the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Speaking of builders, if you guessed Sorcelary, then you're correct. Comment down below if you got it right. yeah, that's what we got.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yes, thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciated, getting a second opinion on everything. We look forward to the future events. We will definitely stay in touch, and we'll get an update soon. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes. Also, Rebellious, July 4th.
It's
Woohoo.
coming. I can't wait.
Be there or be square.
Okay, now that we're done talking about events, it's back to rebellious time.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
get
God,
prepared. You're gonna see the
yes.
announcements. You're gonna start seeing videos,
Yes.
posts, websites. We're full on rebellious.
Get ready. Oof, it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Bye.